Sweet and sour pork is a quintessential Chinese dish. It is famous all over the world and loved by many people, both young and old. The reason why I decided to do a sweet and sour pork recipe is simply because my niece asked me to, like a year ago. But you know, better late than never. The recipe has pretty much two steps to it. One is where we prepare and deep fry the pork, and then the other is where we stir fry all of the components in with the sauce. To make things a little different, we are going to flavor the pork besides just the regular vinegar, sugar, and pineapple. We're also gonna use smoked paprika, as well as some Ras el Hanout, which is a North African spice. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's used throughout the Middle East. The recipe for the particular spice blend, it varies by region. Some of them, for example, have like rose petals in them. Some of them have cardamom. This one's a really simple but very aromatic version with a lot of ginger and clove notes to it. And I think that this will go really seriously well in with the sweet and sour pork, simply because of just how naturally bright it is. Any Ras el Hanout will work, I'm pretty sure anyway. But yeah, I am very partial to this one. This one's from a company called New York Shook. They sent this to me and I absolutely love it. Some people actually think that the sweet and sour flavor from sweet and sour pork comes from pineapple. It actually comes from ketchup, vinegar, and sugar. And then the pineapple is added kind of like as a little bonus. You're not actually cooking the pineapple in with the sweet and sour pork, but it's still in there and it's delicious. I bought this pineapple. I didn't buy it, I Instacarted it, and they brought me a really underripe pineapple. Thinking that that could have been possible, I also ordered some pre-cut pineapple. So we'll be using this today, and we'll be saving this for later. I have some pork loin here that I will use for the pork portion of the sweet and sour pork. Ketchup, Liam Perrins, rice vinegar, as well as some white pepper. And instead of sugar, I'm gonna use erythritol. It is a 0-calorie sweetener, and it helps if you have like issues controlling blood sugar. But also, if you use erythritol or other sweeteners for purposes that are both sweet and savory, you can really hardly tell the difference between using this and using real sugar. So it's just a healthier alternative. Not that that's what we're going for, but you know, every little bit while you can. 3 bell peppers, different colors, simply because it's pretty. And I also have a white onion here somewhere. I normally would try to go for a red one because that's pretty too, but we only had white onion available at the store today. As well as I said before, smoked paprika, Ras el Hanout, and the power of friendship. We will have some really good sweet and sour pork. First thing, we're going to cut this guy. Cutting the loin into first bite-sized and manageable pieces. And when we say like bite-sized pieces, we do mean like chopstick manageable, right? So things that are be easy to pick up with chopsticks. That's what we mean when we say like to cut the pork down. So just imagine to yourself like what would be easy for me to pick up with chopsticks. Of course, depending on how good you are with chopsticks, it would vary. At this point, we are going to marinate the pork, and we will just keep this like marinating while we do all of the other components and get everything else ready. So, vinegar, light soy sauce. I should probably be giving measurements, although I don't really know what the measurements are exactly. So I'm gonna say a teaspoon of vinegar, a tablespoon of light soy sauce, a few dashes of Worcestershire sauce. And if you need to be more like precise, that was exactly 3 shakes. The Ras el Hanout, and we're gonna say 1.5 tablespoons. No, that's like a teaspoon. That was 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of Ras el Hanout, and 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika and white pepper. We'll do white pepper. That's a teaspoon of white pepper. And I want to put anything else in here? No, the Ras el Hanout's gonna be good. Okay. When it comes to spices, I have to, that was me showing restraint because I just wanted to go crazy. But for the sake of making this easy, we'll just go with that. Oh, let's do a little bit of sesame oil in this as well. Where is that? Here we go. If I keep my hand in here, I won't use the dirty hand to touch clean things. So I'm keeping my hand in the bowl and using my clean hand to pick stuff up. So there we go. We will add a little bit of egg and some flour to this a little later, but now we're just gonna let that party right over here. While that marinates, we're going to prep our vegetables. Where's my onion? There it is. So with a white onion, we'll just take off a little nasty nubbin thing here. You'll only need half. Because of how many components are in this dish, like you only really end up using unfortunately part of everything. Like I won't use all of this bell pepper because I've got 2 more here. Luckily, everything in here works in vegetable stock. And if you watched my previous video, you'll know that we can put these all in a Ziploc bag, stick it in the freezer, and once it's full, we can throw it into a pot and make some good stock with it. So nothing will go to waste. Let's see, we'll just do, there we go. Why did I do that? Simply because we wanted little cute shapes. Not exactly triangles, but these are very stir-friable, and these pieces are very satisfying to eat with the sweet and sour pork, so just that. When I had to make really fancy stuff with this, I don't know if I've done this before in a video, but the inside of the pepper right here, you'll see this little shiny bit. That's the part of all the bell peppers that are bitter. So what they make me do when I worked at some of the restaurants is, first of all, we slice these off. And I don't even know if I can still do this. Smash this down, and then just very gently, I would have to take off this tiny membrane layer to the point where I always have to see my knife edge at all times. And I mean, it does serve a purpose. It does make even green bell peppers sweet by comparison to what they would be without it. And this is the part that we'd use. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying that this is something that I used to have to do. And then we put this in with stock as well. There we go. I'm not doing that again. You could just take these white parts out. These are the most bitter part, and you'll be fine. You would have done enough. There. Pretty. Now for this one. It was always so sad when you would like buy one bell pepper thinking that that's all you need, and then you like open it up and there's like mold inside. Those were always the worst. You want bell pepper? Oh God, I hope you like it. All right, sit. Oh, good girl, good girl. Come on, good girl. Oh. There you go. Oh, how gentle, good girl. I hope she eats it. There we go. You know, all bell peppers, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that all bell peppers are just like the same and they're just at different stages of ripeness. So like this is like least ripe and this is like when it's ripe, and that's just like, this is just the cycle of when it's ready. Do you want another one? Okay, here, take another one. Have a red one. This one's sweet. Oh, you missed it. We got these, and we have these. And I was totally right. This would have looked so much better if this was a red onion, but again. So for the pineapple, you don't have to add too much pineapple since we don't want to get it too like, the pineapple will make it too sweet. So we're just going to, oh, is this just one big log of pineapple? Okay, that's fine. We'll just we'll use that much. At this point, we ought to be frying the pork. We're going to do a mixed flour dredge, unlike with the fried chicken before. So we'll do a mix of potato starch for crispiness, and flour for kind of like substance. There is gluten in flour, and I think that has something to do with like, I feel like it affects kind of how like the heft of a fried dredge. So it's like half and half. Half potato starch, half flour. Seasoning it with our favorite, ooh, I'm almost out, white pepper, as well as salt. So this is gonna be the dredge that we actually just like mix in with the pork. We'll do a secondary dredge of just potato starch after. Still with salt though. There we go. Give this a good mix. And what we'll do now is we'll crack an egg in with the pork. Mix this in. Already smells really good. And now we'll add little bit by little bit the flour itself. Essentially making a batter into the pork. And then once this has stuck really nice, we'll do a dry dredge right before we fry. We can loosen it up with just a touch of water if you want. When it comes to that, there we go. If it looks messy and goopy and a little bit of a sensory overload, it's because it is. This is not very comfortable for me at all, but anything for deliciousness. Yeah, I know. We're just gonna set up a fry station with this wok. So, oil's hot. We got our nice little coating over here. Just a light dusting of our dry dredge, which is potato starch, which, as we know, fries a little bit more light than regular flour, but nonetheless does so beautifully. We will absolutely be doing a double fry for this. And we'll just set this here and we'll do another batch. And then once everything is done, we'll put everything back in, do another fry, and then we will put it through the sauce. Now that I've made a mess and done a preliminary fry with all of the pork, I'm going to put it back in so that it I think how it works is that it forces out all the residual moisture in the surface, and that makes it extra crunchy, and that's the magic behind Korean fried chicken, which is kind of the gold standard for any fried crunchy thing. So yeah, we're gonna do that and then set this aside. You can keep this in the oven if you want, you don't really have to, but that keeps some of the moisture on this, keep the oven on low. We'll stir fry our vegetables and assemble our sauce, put everything together, and we'll be done. See, that is what I mean by the residual moisture that comes out from it. It kind of extracts out. And so by putting that in and frying it again, we take that off and then put it in a layer where it's better. I'm just gonna, there we go. For the secondary fry, it's pretty much ready once the oil calms down. So right now it's bubbling pretty violently, but you can see it's really starting to taper off and lower. And once it gets calm-ish, that means all the surface moisture is gone, and you can put it out here and it'll be fine. Yum. All right, so for the sweet and sour sauce, we will do 2 cups of ketchup. I want to say 1 cup of vinegar. I'm using rice vinegar, you can use white vinegar. A teaspoon of light soy sauce. Smoked paprika, again, we're going to do probably 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. And this will help because like this will be great because at restaurants, a lot of them use food coloring to make it really red. We're using a mixture of, what's in here? There's no food coloring in ketchup, it's just tomatoes. So with the power of tomatoes and smoked paprika, we're going to get a sweet and sour pork as red as they get it in restaurants without the use of food coloring. Not that it's that big of a deal, but I always think it's fun when I can like make things vibrant without the help of food coloring. White pepper, teaspoon. You should probably put in, actually, I'll add the Ras el Hanout now. Teaspoon. Loin parents. 5 shakes. And that's about a teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'm gonna mix this now and taste. See what else it needs, or how the balance is. People might think it's like weird or like déclassé to use ketchup and stuff, but really ketchup is just sugar and vinegar with like some tomato in it. So it's actually like, as an ingredient, ketchup's pretty awesome, I think. You just need to use it in the right quantities. That needs about, I'd say like 2 tablespoons of sugar. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Oh, I'll put a cornstarch slurry in there because I want more sauce than what I have. So I'll just do a cornstarch slurry with half a cup of water and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. That'll thicken things up really nicely. And that should be enough to cover everything. I'm just gonna put in more ketchup. That was like a third of a cup more. Two teaspoons or okay, so whatever it was to the other recipe, 1/3 a cup more ketchup and a teaspoon more of Ras el Hanout. But no more, we're done. Let's keep going. We're going to do 400 degrees on the wok. Sort out my life just a little bit here. Okay. We'll do a pre-season. And once we see shiny oil and wisps of smoke, we'll just rub it into the pan and actually do the cooking. There we go. There, cheese ready. Got garlic and ginger. I minced it earlier for a different video, so I just have it. So just like, yeah, 4 cloves of garlic, a thumb of ginger. Sorry I didn't say anything till now. You can trust me, it's fine. I'm gonna do 400 degrees and on. All right, back at it again with a tiny bit of oil. I forgot the thing to do this with. Once you get some aroma in there, you add your... Now we're not trying to reduce these. We're treating the onion as if it were a vegetable. So, higher heat, 450. We're trying to get like a char on the surface as opposed to like a cook down. Once you start seeing a little bit of browning, and obviously if you want to like speed up the process a little bit, you can add in your artificial wok hay. There we go. Add in your peppers. More green ones. Thank you. I'm just gonna do just a touch more oil. There we go. Okay, we've got a nice char developed on the vegetables now. So we will add in the sauce along with this slurry, which I should have had cooked and ready, but I don't. Having an induction wok also helps if you're not a good planner, because you can turn the heat off and the heat is off. And you can see by how vibrant everything is, it's actually ready now. So, adding in the sauce, wait, no, turning it back on. Maximum heat, turning it back on, adding in the sweet and sour sauce, as well as just a touch of the slurry. Allowing that to cook. And once it smells real nice, which it does, I'm gonna put in more. We add our pork. Once everything is coated, just plate. Do I have any? I do. Oh, it's hot. It's really hot. There we go. Prepare the reveal. Ah, the pineapples. We're fine. Everything's fine. I can fix him. Let's just char the pineapples a little bit. I was like, why is there so like little liquid in this? And it's because like the pineapples aren't in there. The pineapples actually add quite a bit of juice once you cook them out. And as I said before, the flavor doesn't come from the pineapples. It comes from the sauce, so we're good. Okay, reveal. There you have it. Sweet and sour pork with Moroccan spices. Or I guess I could call this Moroccan spice sweet and sour pork. Obviously, if you can't eat pork, this is easily done with chicken thigh or chicken breast. Would I do this with anything else? No, you can just do it, you can also do it with chicken or tofu, obviously. So there you have it. Moroccan spice sweet and sour pork. I should probably eat some. Because the pineapple is not really something that is integrated all that much in with the rest of the dish, you can actually be a little more creative with it. For example, maybe in an upcoming book that might be written by me, I might have made a version of this with chipotle mango. Maybe, just saying, possibly. It's not this version. This version I just made up, so. And it's a good version too. I say it's like, it's not as sweet, but it tastes like a whole lot more nuanced because of all the different spices that's in here. Highly recommend.